guys, we are going to read another short story from the Scariest Stories You've Ever Heard. This is The Horror in the Backseat. It was nearly midnight when Linda made a mad dash to her car in the pouring rain. The school parking lot was nearly empty. She was one of the last students to leave. Tomorrow was the annual high school musical, and she had just finished painting the last of the scenery. Lightning flashed close by, momentarily replacing night with day. The thunder shook her car. Bad storm, she thought. She couldn't wait to get home and into her bed. The stage crew had worked extremely hard the last few days, and she was exhausted. Turning onto the highway, Linda drove slowly in spite of her desire to get home. The rain was coming down hard. Lightning flashed again, and then streetlights went out. Only the beams from her headlights lit the road ahead. Behind her, she noticed another vehicle approaching, the only other car on the road. As it pulled up close to her car, its lights flashed as if signaling to pass. Linda couldn't imagine anyone trying to pass on this rainy, wet road, but she slowed a little to let the car by. But the car stayed right behind her. Suddenly, the headlights flashed again. Then the driver pulled his vehicle right up behind the rear bumper of Linda's car. She could tell now it wasn't a car, but a pickup truck. She slowed her car again and edged to the far right side of the lane, but the pickup wouldn't pass. It stayed close behind her, dangerously close. Is this guy crazy, Linda thought, or is he deliberately following me? She glanced uneasily up and down the wet road. No one else was in sight. The truck clung behind her, just inches between them. Turning down another street, Linda grew more concerned as the pickup stayed close. The truck's bright lights came on again. Linda decided to increase her speed, despite the rain. She turned down another street and sped through a red light, but the pickup kept pace. She pushed the accelerator down even more. Although the truck dropped back slightly, its unseen driver flashed its lights several times in a row. Now Linda was getting scared. What's that guy want, she thought. She tried to lose the truck by cutting across the pavement of a corner gas station, but the driver seemed to be able to tell every move she would make. He hung on doggedly. Racing toward her parents' home outside of town, Linda felt the car sliding on the wet pavement. She knew she was driving too fast. Still, the pickup bore down on her, lights flashing. Up ahead, Linda saw the driveway to her house. She turned sharply, almost skidding into the ditch, and started blowing the car horn frantically. The truck turned in right behind her. Still pushing on the horn, Linda screeched to a halt and then jumped out of the car. Linda's father ran out on the front porch, alarmed by the sound of the horn. As his frightened daughter ran into his arms, the driver of the truck got out and pulled a rifle down from the gun rack in the cab. "Daddy," she sobbed, "that man has been following me." "Hold it, mister," yelled her father. "I'm calling the police." "Well, sir, you do that," said the truck driver, standing in the rain next to Linda's car. He clutched his rifle and looked down through the car window. "I think they'd be real interested in my story." "Now just what do you mean by that?" Linda's father snapped. He had untangled himself from his daughter's arms and now was striding angrily toward the stranger. The man jerked his thumb toward the car window. "Have a look," he said. "My car horn doesn't work, so flashing my lights was the only way I could help that girl." Linda's father peered into the darkened car. His expression changed from curiosity to horror. He looked back at the stranger, speechless. "Yes," the man said, answering the unasked question. "He ducked down every time those high beams hit him. I stayed on that car so close I could see him every time he started to raise up." Linda could bear the suspense no longer. Moving slowly down the porch steps and across the drive, she approached the car in fear and fascination. "Young lady," said the man, "I'm right glad I came up behind you." Linda now could see why. Her insides ran cold as she glanced in the window. There, cringing on the floor of the car, was a huge man with a murderous look on his face. In his hand was a gleaming hatchet. Have a spooky day.